So do you ever find yourself in a Pilates class where your hips feel like they're tucking under all the time and your pelvis is going backwards, your back is shortening, and maybe your teacher is often saying to you, anchor your pelvis, drop the pelvis, lengthen the tailbone towards the heels, don't tuck your hips. It is normal for us these days to have more tight hips. Not because they are strong and tight and we actually need to stretch them, no. It's because we sit a lot. And as we sit a lot and we are bound in our office desk jobs, our hips are being trained in this tight, right angle, flexed position. And we sit for a while, so every day our hips are having a generally large masterclass in how to stay short and tight. We're never getting them to elongate. They're never really being used to help lift something up, lift the weight of the body. They're just being dumped into in a quiet little short place. And the abdominal wall doesn't have to really work when I'm sitting here, sort of slouching out. My back is generally tight. And that conditioning has led us to have tight hips, slightly sort of more tucked bodies. And Pilates is known very well for getting the balance in the body. So not getting you out of your hips, because actually you do want your hip muscles to get stronger, but not tucking them under. Let me show you when I lie down on something you might classically see in your Pilates class, an upper body chest lift. It's there in the 100, the abdominal series of 5, all of those exercises where the head, neck and shoulders are lifted. So I'm going to lie down, bend my knees, put my feet flat. And this is what often we see for most people. As the head, neck and shoulders lifts up, we actually see this happen in the pelvis. So I don't know if you can see that, as the chest comes up, the pelvis tends to roll backwards. So we get the upper body lifting forward and the lower body going backwards, and the two ends crunch. Buttocks are relaxed. Strong work on the front here and in the hips, but actually not in an abdominal supportive way, just in a crunch way. And as I crunch my two ends together, my neck pushes out, my back is tight, my hips are training tighter, my abdominals are actually bunching up and round, and when I'm training that strength in a poochy way. So I'm going to give you some tips of how you can get out of that. Let's start with your feet. So your feet, have a look at them. You've got these things on the end that are called toes, and they're really important. So I'm going to lay down every one of my toes. Knees bent, feet flat. Pick up your toes for a second, and then think as you lay them down, spread them out, and then lay down all of your toes. And once they're there, press them. Literally press them to the floor. If your feet are too far away from your body, you'll find you can't get that. So slide them close until you find that pressing down. Don't have them too close, just find where can you anchor all 10 toes. And then just notice, I'm here with my feet, but am I really pressing down? So press. That automatically, as I press down, is going to give me a little different feeling in my pelvis. If I relax, my pelvis sort of rocks back. If I press my toes down, it anchors me down into my sacrum. First step. Second step, let's go into a naughty position, a tuck. So I'm going to press my 10 toes down. I'm going to use my tummy and my internal organs and feel like I pull them back into the mat behind me, and as a result, I tuck my pelvis under. Naughty, but useful right now. And then thirdly, I'm going to keep my toes down, keep my pelvis tucked backwards, keep my tummy, my organs pulling me backwards, and then imagine the heels being pulled towards the buttocks. And as I pull my heels towards my buttocks, magically, it lengthens me. And it lengthens me without making me fall out of my tummy and arch my back. So let's repeat that. 10 toes down. Press them to the mat. Tummy, lower organs, all of your insides. Pull your pelvis backwards into a tuck. Drag your heels towards the bottom, holding onto your abdominal muscles, and pull the heels to the bum. So what I feel now is that I've lengthened my tailbone towards my toes. I've come less into my hips and a little bit more into my bum and into my hamstrings. My abdominal wall is still switched on, but in a much more lengthened and flattened way. And I'm no longer in this tuck. Now, of course, you can try and do that when you lift your chest. So this time, instead of just relaxing my feet, curling my hips under towards me and curling up like so. I'm going to really think about pressing the toes down, feeling my inside organs pulling and dragging my heels to my bottom as I curl up. I'm keeping the length and actually I'm getting a little higher, but not because I just crunch it. So practice that. Toes down. Pelvis is anchored. Lower toe muscles pulled in, strongly in and up. Heels dragging towards the bottom. And as I go into the upper body chest lift, drag my heels. And I'm up. There's my 100. Off you go. Enjoy.